Hello, my fellow nerds, and thanks again for watching another episode of Nerd Boy Gaming. I am Nerdboy81. Well, this is not the video I expected to be posting tonight. I was almost done with episode 106 of my first time playing Ark Survival Evolved. However, when I got home from work, I noticed that there was a new trailer from Wildcard. A trailer about cats. And apparently they had added cats to the game. And since it's April 1, or April Fool's Day, I was highly skeptical. And honestly, still am a little bit, but we'll get to that in a second. So I start looking around, and Raz Clark has a video, Loaded Crisis, and there's videos on how to tame it. So clearly, these animals are in the game. I head over to the Discord. People are saying they're there. I ask a friend, Hop, hey, is this real? And he said, yes, it's in the game. So I'm like, cool. And I hop on to the island. And I spend about 30 minutes just doing a basic search. Nothing. I'm like, okay, are we sure? And so I start really digging in and looking around. And I ask again on Hop stream, is this real? Someone's, yeah, we have them on our cluster. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. How is it that some people are seeing it? So I'm like, okay, I've just got to do a better job searching. So I spend another hour searching for a cat. No cats anywhere. So I go on the Discord. I start asking questions. I start looking around. And I am convinced that I have been going on a snipe hunt. Kind of. See, I think that this is actually a really hilarious April Fool's joke. See, yes, there are cats. They are available. But good luck finding one. In single player, I have no confirmation from anybody in single player that they even exist, but assuming they do in single player, I have heard in multiplayer that they're spawning like one for the entire map. That's like finding a needle in a haystack. What a hilarious joke, other than to say, we've got this great new animal for you to play, but you can never find one because there's literally one on the entire map and it's about this big, with foliage that's this big, and you will absolutely, no matter how long you search, find it. And so I spent a majority of my evening, 2.5 hours actually, searching, flying up rivers, flying down rivers, looking everywhere. I found otters and monkeys and pego things and compies and all sorts of tiny little itty bitty creatures. But I could not, for the life of me, find a single cat. Now I did a destroy wild dinos. That didn't solve anything. I flew. I took my I flew around. I flew with my Terry everywhere that I could. I even jumped on my Tickle Chicken and walked around some of the areas I could access. Now, I'm still a beach bob in this game, and you would think that if there's a new animal in the game, that it would be a relatively common spawn. So I have a couple theories here. Either number one, they didn't actually add cats to single player, that this is only a multiplayer feature that's showing up on rented servers and clusters, and therefore, if you're playing single player, you will never see this. I'm asking the community right now, is there a single player person out there who has been able to find the cat on single player on the island that they didn't spawn in themselves? Let me know in the comments below if you did and where you did, because I'm genuinely curious now as you can find it, because I think my theory still holds that this is a great prank. So number one, either A, they didn't actually add it in single player, so haha, joke's on you as you spend 2.5 hours searching for the cat. Number two, they did put it in there, but it has such a rare spawn that it's almost impossible to find, which again, haha, joke's on you. Number three is that they put it in, but it's a bit broken because the spawn rates and spawn locations are abysmal. They don't exist. It's not spawning like the dodos where they can be found on any beach around any corner. No, they give you something, they tell you something's going to be there, this great animal, and then they make it impossible to find. Now, I did not try mods and going in and using like the awesome scanners or whatever they're called, the special scanners that'll help you find any animal on the island. I just have never done that. Didn't really, I thought, honestly, you shouldn't have to do that if this is a real thing. And I was convinced most of the night that I was out on a snipe hunt, that I was searching for something that my uncle told me was out there to be found that I would never, ever discover. I am still somewhat convinced that that is the case here. See, I have flown up and down the rivers. I have searched the jungles. I have looked almost everywhere. I even spent some time on Herbivore Island looking. I have not found a cat anywhere. However, I see it on comments, I saw it on Raz, I see it in other videos that these things exist and they're kind of neat. So what gives? Am I just bad at this game? Probably. There's a truth to that. Or is this the greatest prank that they have presented for single players on their game, Ark Survival Ascended? They have made it impossible to find because they spawned in one and thus made you spend hours of time flying up and down rivers and looking for this dang cat that does not exist. I'm telling you, this is still some kind of prank and I am on a snipe hunt. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, or I really like the idea of there being cats, so hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they stick around. That's really the big question I see in the community. Are these things going to stick around? If they do stick around, hopefully they solve the spawn rates. Or if it's extremely rare, then I guess if you get lucky to come across it, great. I mean, it's impossible to find something this big in that giant map. It's like a needle in a haystack. But either way, I spent a lot of time flying. And here's another observation I made. While I was spending that time flying around, I was not planning. The goal was not to nitpick ASA by any means. It was so apparent in the 2.5 hours that I played why I haven't really been drawn into ASA. And it really goes around performance and the hope that Unreal Engine 5.5.4 is what we need to drive the performance on this game so that we can really enjoy it. Because there were so many moments where it just didn't look good. There are moments where it does. I will admit there are moments where it does, but for the most part, the game just didn't look good. The foliage, the water, the edges of the dinos in places, there was just a lot of areas where it just didn't look super clean, and it's unfortunate because I really want to get into this. There's some quality of life improvements that I really am excited for, and I want to enjoy ASA, but I just can't. But that's neither here nor there. That's not the purpose of this video. I was not doing it to make fun of the fact there's still floating rocks. There's still oil painted clouds. There's still speckles in the shadows and in the water. And there's still ghosting images when you move around. That's not what I was picking on. More so just, I think Wildcard has essentially pranked us. Well, they pranked me. I spent 2.5 hours trying to find a cat I couldn't find. So, haha, I have been pranked. If you are a single player and you are playing on the island and you have found a cat, please leave a comment below. Tell me that it's possible and that it wasn't just 2.5 hours of searching for nothing. Because it seems that they're definitely showing up in multiplayer or official and online. But are they there in single player? I don't know. You guys tell me. But anyway, guys, that was just a quick little video about how we all have been, or at least how I was pranked tonight, spending 2.5 hours trying to find something that didn't exist. If you're new here and you haven't done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be making more content like this. I've got episode 106, basically probably should be dropping tomorrow night. I've just dropped my first Baldur's Gate playthrough, which definitely, if you like that, let me know so I know to continue the playthrough, because engagement on it's a little low, so I'm just not sure if that's something that everybody wants to see. If you do, leave a comment. I'll put more of that up. I've got other games in the can. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 1, which I'm about 70% of the way through that, so I'm going to get all the way through that, and then I'll make a video on that. I've been playing No Man's Sky and several other games that I'll be putting together. And then, of course, there'll be more first-time playing coming, like Baldur's Gate and others. So I'm trying different things, trying to see what really sticks and what we like. But I'm definitely going to be finishing the island on ASE here soon, so more of that to come. Guys, and until next time, have a great day.